gentlemen, welcome to the Duncan Showroom and episode 98 of the Eugene and Billy Show. Wow, that was, what's going on? Terry Jack's version of Eugene Smith singing
Freight Train.
Back in the 1900s and
70s.
70s, wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, that seems a while ago, doesn't it?
That was like 45 years ago.
Oh, God.
That I did that. No, 48 years
And
ago.
you're still looking young and chipper, so that's good.
Am I?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You got it going on, brother. Nice. And he also, on the other side of that 45, my favorite song, Piece of Wood.
Yeah.
Which he did not modulate. Thank
no,
goodness.
I wouldn't let him do it.
Thank
He
goodness.
likes to modulate in songs, but I wouldn't let him. Not in that particular song. I couldn't. It just didn't feel like one of those tunes that needed a modulation.
Hell no.
And to make it more exciting, or.
That's right.
I mean, that's why they modulated, to make things more.
Oh, was it to get your emotions?
It's an uplift.
Pumped?
Yeah. In the song.
Huh. Interesting.
That's why they do that.
Well, would you say he was better known as? I mean, his hits were famous, but he was pretty well known as a producer as well, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, Terry was an excellent producer. Excellent.
Mostly out of Toronto.
He produced Voldy. He produced the Nana Scurry.
Oh yeah.
The Beach Boys.
Oh, crackers.
Jesse Winchester.
Yeah. Wow.
He did stuff with all kinds of all kinds of different people.
Yeah, a good cross-border influence.
Yeah. Sure.
And his sister?
No, his wife.
Susan was his wife.
Yeah.
Right. And did she write some of those hits
I don't know
him?
if she wrote. He did most of the writing, I think, but she got into country music.
Oh, right.
After they split up.
Yeah. As you would.
Yeah.
Lost the dog.
Yeah. She just passed a year or so ago.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
A couple of years ago.
What was the most famous one, Tim? Seasons in the Sun?
Seasons in the Sun.
Ah, Young Love. Ooh. I think it probably came out in 76 or 74. When I was a teen, you were a bit more experienced.
Well, Seasons in the Sun was written by a French poet.
Oh, that's right.
In France. He was kind of like the French Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And he had written a bunch of poems. And he would put his poems, he would sing and put his poems to music like Leonard Cohen, right?
Right.
Anyways, Terry bought, I think, 12 of his songs or poems, and one of them was Seasons in the Sun.
Oh, wow.
So he changed it around. I mean, if you listen to the original, it's nowhere near what Terry did to it.
Right. Yeah.
But it sold 13 million singles.
Isn't that amazing?
It's 13 million.
45s, yeah. In the day when we bought those things.
It was the highest selling Canadian single ever. 13 million.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Nobody's touched that. Not Gordy Lightfoot, not Anne Murray. Nobody.
Well, when singles were going, 45s.
Huh. Amazing. And how's he doing? Not so well.
His health isn't all that great right now. He's had operations on his head and his nose.
No, well, let's not go too far now.
His knee.
His knee, everything, yeah. I could use an operation on my head.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about that.
Is the frontal lobotomy still legal?
Something wrong with you, Billy.
I'm a little bit off. Oh, we have people. Hold it. MTI. I have a huge modulator. Whoa. Settle down, MTI. Jocks Brell. Who is MTI? Must be a friend of yours. I'm not sure what you mean there, young fella, but it'll make sense later, hopefully. Well, what did you prepare for us this fine day?
Not much.
Oh, sure you did. Come on.
I was going to tell a story.
Oh, do.
But then I decided I couldn't remember it all.
Oh, you think it would come to you as you started, or?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for teasing us with that idea. I guess we'll make do with a song, which is as good or better.
Seagulls over the sea, bluebirds over the mountain. Bring my baby back to me. Bring my baby back to me. Boy and girl, they fall in love, each like it's heaven above. He looks into her eyes of blue. She vows to him that she'll be true. Bluebirds over the mountain, seagulls over the sea. Yeah, bluebirds over the mountain. Bring my baby back to me. Bring my baby back to me. Oh, I'll miss you, so I see. You're the only girl for me. When you're gone, oh, I'll be alone. Come on, baby, come back home. Bluebirds over the mountain, seagulls over the sea. Bluebirds over the mountain, bring my baby back to me. Bluebirds over the mountain, seagulls over the sea. Oh, bluebirds over the mountain. Oh, now bring my baby back to me. Bring my baby back to me. Bring back, oh, bring back, oh, bring back my baby. Oh, oh, bluebirds over the mountain, bluebirds over the mountain, bluebirds over the mountain, bluebirds over the mountain. All right, bluebirds over the mountain.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I have never heard you play that song. Where does that one come from?
That's an Ursel Hickey tune.
A who? Ursel Hickey.
Ursel Hickey.
Ursel Hickey, American songwriter?
Yeah, 1933.
You're kidding. Wow, you knew who was coming today, and you thought I'll pull out some classic gems. Because we got a couple of classic gems as guests today, for sure.
Well, he wasn't jazz. He was more rock and, like, you know.
Ursel Hickey.
Yeah.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
I know you said you've been working a lot lately to bring a lot of the songs back because you're not playing as much and kind of keep them in your mind, keep them fresh and playable.
Well, when you're not playing as often as I used to, well, then you kind of forget. I mean, it comes back.
Yeah.
When I sit down with my guitar or whatever and I start trying to, even my own songs that I write myself, you know.
Yeah.
If you're not playing them on a regular basis, then you start to forget, you know.
It happens, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Startling.
It's like people's names.
Who?
If you don't see them.
No, that's right. The face stays familiar.
Faces always stay
the
familiar.
name. And this is how smart I am. MTI says Jacques Brel, and of course that's the name of the French poet, isn't it?
Jacques Brel, yeah.
Jacques Brel. Sorry, MTI, I didn't pick up too quickly. Hold it! He's talking. Great voice, great song choice. Wow, it's a kalimba. Yes,
What's that?
That's you. Jacques, our guest MTI, says great song.
Oh.
Nice face. No, good voice. Sorry. Cute face. Cute face.
I'll take it all.
Okay. Speaking of classics, I guess if I had to, put our anthropomorphize our bass player, I'd say it was a classic Studebaker with the top down. What about this guitarist? How would you classify him as a classic car? You've known him for a while.
Who?
What kind of who? Our guest.
Oh,
I'm
Brian.
not saying his name yet. No, don't say his name yet.
You're talking about this guitar player. You haven't even told me who you're talking about.
I'm riffing, Gene, off the top of my head. Conversations that go nowhere. If you had to classify our secret guitar player guest as a classic automobile, what would it be?
What would it be?
Yeah, that's a tough question, I know.
It is.
Okay, never mind.
Oh,
Move
an
along.
Edsel.
An Edsel, all right. That's a high compliment. Okay.
Because
Well,
they're collector's items
they're
now.
collector's items. See? That was a compliment.
Yep.
All right, without further ado, let's bring them on. Brian Gauci and John Wade. Yes, sirree. Classics, gentlemen. This was meant to be highly complimentary. I hope you know that, John.
Thank you, brother. My fins are showing.
Your fins are showing. That's right. The always well-dressed and debonair John Wade and Brian Gauci. Oh, a Mustang.
Well,
Would
the fellow that designed the Edsel, he was the one that designed the Mustang.
Yeah, I know.
So he
You
had
were
a
right.
winner.
In the ballpark.
He messed up in the beginning. Although it's still, like I say, they're collector's items now.
You were in the right category. There you go.
Yeah.
Huh. Brian, how are you, sir?
I'm doing just fine. How you doing, Bill?
Good, very good. Good to see you. I'm glad it's 2025. It's sort of like the space age year in our minds. We all thought we'd be George Jetsoning around and there'd be automatic food coming out of the walls and holy cow. I guess who's chattering out there? Holy cow, you're in the studio here. Hello. And hi, welcome. We're doing a live show here. And Brian, what now? I lost my train of thought. What was it? Dang it. It was really,
You were
really
asking
sharp.
me about cars, weren't you?
Oh, something like that. I don't know. Where did you first meet this guy to play with John?
John? Wow. What, 2 weeks ago?
Not even.
No way.
Well,
Really?
Okay. No, it was before Christmas. This band that I play with a fellow named Chris Noel who sings and plays bass.
Ah, yes.
Chris, we had a gig on New Year's and Chris hurt his hand
Oh, yeah.
and he needed to hire a bass player or cancel the gig.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
So I called up Eugene, said, you know any upright bass players? And he gave me John's number.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, by the time I got back to Chris with John's number, he'd already gotten somebody for the gig.
Right.
But John, like we have our weekly jam sessions, and John started coming up, and we started talking, and then
Nice.
now I'm here.
A good
What-
connection.
What a guitar player.
What a guitar player.
And
We're
I had
so
no-
glad to have you.
I had no idea the connection between these two guys.
The long time. Yeah.
We've lived here all this time, and I just
Well,
Who
Brian
is
and
this
I,
guy?
We've known each other
Je-
for,
Gene?
what,
Gene?
35
Gene?
years.
Gene?
Gotta be that long.
Pull your
Not
mic
sure.
up, Gene,
Yeah, it's gotta be.
for a minute.
We've known each other for over 35 years, haven't we, Brian?
I'd say at least, yeah.
At least.
But even before I knew you, I knew who you were, and I used to go hear you play all the
You should
time.
have come and told me.
Hello.
I was trying to figure out who I was, too.
Nice. And one of the exciting bits when Brian unpacked this beautiful beast of wood in your hand, a 70s era Telecaster,
Yeah.
which you say you've done a lot of work on. What have you done to change it?
Well, you see, growing up in Toronto, every guitar player played a Telecaster.
Mm.
But a Telecaster was considered an easy guitar to modify. Everybody just modified their.
Yeah.
The best one was a guy named Dominic Triano. His guitar was like a computer, sort of, right?
Yeah.
So everybody tried to make their Telecaster kind of like Dominic Triano's, which I had this one just like that for a while. It's all hollowed out under here with pickups and everything, but I changed it so many times over the years. The only thing really left, I think, of the real guitar is the wood body here. I think
Oh, wow.
I've changed everything else at some point.
It's a beauty, though, eh? That kind of tone and the playability.
It's most versatile guitar I got.
Mhm.
You know, I've got a whack of guitars, but this one I can seem to play rock and roll or
Right.
country or jazz or blues or anything on. So.
and you've paired
Nice.
it up with this amplifier that is 10 years older than the guitar.
What is that?
It's an Ampeg.
It's
Ampeg.
Juicy little thing.
1961 Ampeg, yeah.
Oh, wow. Made in the States?
Is that a
yeah.
guitar or a bass?
Actually, it's a guitar amp, and you used it. Used to use it back in Toronto. I used to bring it to the gigs for you to. There's a video on YouTube of Eugene. We're playing at a place called the Blue Goose in Toronto
Ooh.
on New Year's Eve, and I think it's 2010 or something.
Whoa.
And Eugene's playing his guitar through this amp. It's sitting right there.
Oh, I got to look that up. Nice. Well, what did you bring for your first composition here, gentlemen?
Oh, an old chestnut.
A good old chestnut. Just
Her name is Stella.
All right.
Stella by Starlight.
I first heard this song on a Miles Davis record many years ago, even before I started playing guitar. And I never really thought much of the song. I just loved the title, Stella by Starlight. So when I got to when I got to where I could actually play stuff like that, I got to learn that song. So
Nice.
we're gonna do it for you now.
Thank you. was beautiful. Oh man, great rendition, you guys. Wonderful.
The last line in that song is, "My heart and I agree. She's everything to me."
Yes, wonderfully done. Sorry, Stella by Starlight, written by.
I'm not sure. I think
Not sure.
I think
It's
the guy's
very
name was
classic.
Ned Washington. I could be wrong about
Was
that.
it? It's an oldie.
Yeah.
That was beautifully done, guys. And you know, the realm of jazz djembe, not that much explored. Eugene, tutored by Stu Salmon, right? Gene, you went
That's
through the
right.
sweating days of the bar in
At the
Crofton.
At the Crofton pub.
Yeah, yeah, and you manage it well, getting the range and the
Well,
dexterity.
he let me play. Well, I told him, I said, all I want to do is just play my djembe. I don't want
Right.
to sing. Don't get me to sing because it'll change everything. And so he let me play for about 6 months went by, and I was going just about every Sunday or every other Sunday. And then but he kept bugging me to sing because the audience wanted me to sing. And so I went, okay, I'll sing, but it's going to change.
It's gonna change everything.
And sure enough, I sang a tune, and then from then on, every time I went in, sing a song, which is great, but I just wanted to play the djembe.
It's like sleeping with your best girlfriend, it changes everything. First you're best friends.
What?
Sentences that go nowhere. We got some online activity. Lonesome Don Wilkie. Lonesome Don? Hi, Don. Sounds wonderful as usual, Eugene. Leanie says hi, loves. Always love
Hey.
when John Wade is on the show. And what a cool piece of history. MTI, that was great. John, what do you think swing? Now, who's the famous young black entertainer that's written a great opus recently and won awards? Marcus, what the heck's his name? Damn it! I just watched the documentary. Anyway, his thought was that jazz was the first great American original music, and of course, forgetting indigenous music. But the marriage of all the styles. Where do you think the swing in the music evolved from? What is that?
Blues.
Booze. Okay.
Blues.
Booze and women.
No, blues.
Oh,
Like-
blues. Sorry.
Blues, yeah.
Yeah,
comes from-
blues kind of predated jazz a bit, really.
Yeah,
A lot of early jazz was based on blues, and even when you got into the '40s, Benny Goodman. If you hear Benny Goodman's output, most of it's blues tunes.
Is it? Yeah. Interesting.
For a long time there, yeah.
Huh. And how did it start to swing? Who was it? The rhythm section that was kind of molding and
It was New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Fats
made-
Waller will tell you it was
Yeah.
him.
Wow,
Jelly
okay.
Roll Morton had
Right.
it came from ragtime, sort of, and
Right.
developed from ragtime, really,
Those
and
kind of
Dixieland,
rhythms.
and
Yeah.
They used to call it syncopation.
Syncopation. Aha.
Was U.B. Blake in there?
yeah, he was a
composer.
he was a
He was
composer, yeah.
yeah.
So Brian, you've done different styles. What was you say learning these kind of tunes? What was your draw, or how did you first get into, that realm of guitar and playing?
Well, okay. I guess, my first main influences on the guitar, I'll start there, were Robbie Robertson, Charlie Christian, and Robert Johnson.
Ah.
And through hearing those guys, I went down to the record store every week and bought something. I had Wes Montgomery records and B.B. King records and everything. And it was weird because my friends had all come over and, want to party and want to listen to Jimi Hendrix and stuff. And I'd put on Wes Montgomery and they, what are you doing? So I got interested in that a long time ago.
Mm.
But it wasn't until sometime maybe in the early 80s that I started learning some of it.
Mm-hmm.
I was mostly playing funk before that.
Right. Pretty demanding stuff, I would think. As a
Yeah.
guitarist.
There's a weird, to be able to play it without thinking is the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 10,000 hours right there.
Yeah, you can see it in the players that are comfortable, and it's a language of its own, isn't it? So-
And also, if you know your history about the stuff, the more you play it, the more it reveals itself. So
Mhm.
it gets a little easier as you go on. because
Right.
It's at the center of all pop music. Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because I was just thinking, you were saying play without thinking about it. Well, I'm right in with you guys now that I'm 80. I'm not thinking all that much, so I'm right there with you.
Well, one of the differences.
It's true, though.
Intuition.
One of the big differences is though, like, okay, you can play blues all day without thinking about it because it's blues, it's gonna go where you think, but every one of these tunes in jazz has a different melody, chord progression, feel, everything to it. So it's like you learn one song, that doesn't mean you know the rest.
Yes, yes.
It's not like Jimmy Reed or something.
Right. Not that we don't love Jimmy Reed.
Well, what about the far out jazz, that free jazz, like, where are they going, They got freedom for sure on when they're playing.
They got freedom from record sales.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, really.
It's a smaller audience for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, tough to make a living. Hold on, we got a couple of announcements before we carry on here. Show number 99 on the February 4th is Dan Fear and Joanna Hearns of Cookie Monsters, but she's doing sort of a Janis Joplin-y kind of thing lately. Eugene
Yeah,
ran
it was,
into them at the
yeah,
Eagles the
yeah.
other day. And Joanna's been on the music scene in the Couch Valley for many years, and Victoria. So we'll look forward to seeing her. It'll be fun. And our 100th show on February 11th is Diana Braithwaite and Chris Whiteley, two of our favorite guests. Yeah. And they've been on a great tour, so it'll be neat to hear the stories of this summer, and even won some awards again this year, I think.
I think so.
Right. I'm going to do a little parlay with Diana. She wants to do a stage reading of a play she's written, so that kind of to workshop it. So that'll be interesting.
And they want me to be in it.
No, I said that. She didn't say that. She will once she knows you're able. I mean, once I tell her how good you are. I didn't want to mislead you.
Well, you were in a movie once, weren't you, Eugene?
What?
Weren't you in
What?
a movie once?
A picture of me was in a movie.
Oh, a picture of you.
Oh, sorry. MTI is asking for a belated introduction because the announcer is just hooped and like what a weird mind. So this guy, our co-host, Mr. Eugene Smith, entertainer of some 50 or more years, 60 years maybe, Gene? Eugene Smith did his tutelage with Ronnie Hawkins in the Lecoq Door in the 60s.
In the 60s, yep.
Yeah. Eugene Smith playing then as Jay Smith.
Jay Smith.
Right.
Yes.
Jay
They
Smith
couldn't
was
think
the
of
warm-up
well,
man.
Eugene back then was a nerdy name, was
Right.
kind of, and so most of the bands there was Bobby and the whatever and Jay and the Americans and like Bobby and Jay and were the big names for those stars back then. So I said to the guys in the band, well, come up with a name, and they came up with Jay Smith. So it was Jay Smith.
Kind of
till,
catchy.
I had my name, and I kept that name until I was 30, in my middle 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to BC to Port Moody. Nobody knew me, so I just introduced myself as Eugene Smith,
Nice.
and that's how I got my name back.
Felt like a good transition. Yeah. Huh.
Because then when I booked myself as Eugene Smith.
Nice. All right. He is my co-host, and an oft guest is the handsome bass player, Mr. John Wade. Owns one of the longest-running gigs at the Masthead in Cowichan Bay in the Cowichan Valley. How many years, John?
Oh, it's getting to be 18 years.
18 years.
18.
But you played with so many people in the valley, and such a talented player, Mr.
Wow.
John Wade.
Yeah.
And our guitarist has been here once before, an old friend of Eugene's, but with a long and illustrious career, Mr. Brian Gauci.
Illustrious, yeah, I love that word.
I love that word. We trot him out occasionally, So thank you, MTI. We don't know who you are, but we may find out someday. Brass
Bill.
Rail in
Hey,
London,
Bill.
Ontario.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I got
Whoa.
someone on Facebook watching. Nancy Fee says, "Great sounds to eat dinner by. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
adding
Nancy.
to our evening."
Which of you
enjoy
have
your dinner,
played?
Nancy?
Be
Oh,
nice
sorry.
if they invited us.
Oh,
Yeah, what are you having?
Yeah,
which of you have played at the Brass Rail in London?
I have.
yeah,
You have,
Eugene,
yeah.
yeah, I remember that place.
Yeah, with your band or as a solo?
No, I played there with Ronnie Hawkins. That was
Oh my lord!
one of the first gigs was Ronnie Hawkins was playing at the Brass Rail.
We gotta find out who this
And
guy is.
to play there, you had to wear army boots and have chains.
Oh yeah.
It was a fighting bar.
You said Ronnie was no stranger to a scrap. He
Oh
could,
no, he loved that shit.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
loved that stuff. Oh,
You
yeah.
didn't want to be backing him up probably if you didn't have to, but
No.
no. Well, gentlemen, interesting day. What's your second choice here?
Brian thought, and it was a good idea, that we would do a bossa nova thing.
Ooh, we love it.
Called Wave.
All right.
And it's really easy to improv on with some tricky chords. Does that make
You're
sense?
looking forward to it, I can tell. All right.
again.
All right. I loves me some bossa nova. That is sexy music. John, do you often find yourself putting on the bossa nova and dancing with your lady in the living room in your pajamas at night?
Often.
I would say so, yes. That sounds like a good activity. I love that. Well done. That's a great piece of music.
It was said at one point that anyone who's trying to learn how to dance, if they learn some Latin steps, it'll cover everything.
Oh, yeah. It's just so darn sexy. Ooh. Ow. Thank you, gentlemen. That was great.
So that leaves out the Lindy Hop then, does it?
It's in there too.
The Lindy Hop. I got distracted briefly in the middle of that. I sensed a royal wind, and sure enough, it was Lord Faulkner pacing excitedly back and forth over here. A bit of a distraction, I'm sorry, but we're so excited, and congratulations to John on his Royal Order of Canada medal. Is that right, Tim? King Charles III medal for contributions ongoing to community excellence.
We have to call him Lord John.
Well, we don't have to. We could, I guess. But certainly well
May we,
deserved.
John,
May we,
Lord?
John. Certainly well deserved, LJ, and congratulations. Yeah.
really.
All right. And his able sidekick Poncho up there. All right. Dr.
blues.
T. Woohoo.
It's the blues.
So Blues, what do you got there for our...
TLC, Brian.
Thanks to all the audience,
C.
and sorry for barking at the studio audience there earlier.
Sure.
You guys ready?
A one,
We'll see you for 99.
a 1, 2, 3, Say good night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. Well, good night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. Well, come on back in 2 weeks. We'll play you some more. Say good night, everybody. Hope you had a good time. Well, good night, everybody. Hope you had a good time. Well, you know. Well, it'll be real fine. Come on, Billy.
Said good night, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this show. Say good night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed our show. We hope to see you in 2 weeks for number 99. And you have some more. Yeah.
Take it, Brian.
everybody.
Well, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Well, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Well, come on back again, and we'll play you some more.
Oh, yeah. Thank you,
Night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night, everybody. That's Eugene Smith, John Wade, and Brian Gauci. I'm Bill Ebony. Thank you to Dr. Ted, Longevity John Lord Faulkner, and our studio audience. We'll
It's
see you.
building.
It's building. It's building up. We'll see you soon. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Cheers.
Woo.
When I was just a youngster, the Pied Piper was one of my heroes. Elders scorned him, but children adored him. He was real folk. Well, he flew to long, yeah, yeah, on his flute all day long. When the rodents hit the town, he just smiled, said no problem. He was just a man doing what he could. Drove them rats to the sea with just a piece of wood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Put it up. Somewhere along the line, I heard me a woman named Joan of Arc. Well, they condemned her to death. They said she was a witch, a demon of the dark. She led our armies into battle, yeah, because of visions they won. Just as quickly as it had begun.